Hello. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. You
Hello,
found
everyone.
sorry. You have found your way to the Sacred Wisdom Circle, linked by the golden thread. We are lighthouses, beacons of truth, guiding the way. Through deep conversations and shared wisdom, we illuminate the path and heal through truth. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. Hello, everyone. We just got notes from Pamela. She can't be here because she's heading out on an airplane, leaving on a
Yes.
jet plane.
Leaving on a jet plane on an amazing tour, and Angela's not able to join us today either. She's got some things going on. So just the two of us today, but I'm excited for the conversation and what's unfolding currently in the world.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to chat a bit. We had my local circle of eight women's circle last night, which is so beautiful. We talked about how many of these circles are happening in the world and how many, like when I first started my certification program for the creative mystics, it was with that idea in mind that we would create a circle and they would learn, then go out and create their own circles and it would multiply. And it's beautiful to see that it's happening. And not only in my group, but all over the world. Like I'm not the one who started this.
Right?
Other people have started this and it is so wonderful to see how many circles are growing. I know from my end it's mostly women, but I know that there's men's circles growing now too, which is
Yeah.
really wonderful. I know locally we have a little men's shed where the men are
Oh, that's
gathered.
awesome.
Yeah, it's called the men's shed, and they make things for different organizations, like they're making the playground equipment for a women's shelter in town, and they do different things like that, which is very cool. And that's what men need, right? The hands-on as they connect. But also in our circle last night, I was just saying to Alana before we hit record that there's so many people that are struggling. They're really getting entangled in that 3D world
Hmm.
and they're sensitive. Like they're empaths, they're sensitive. So it takes work to stay here.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important that everyone knows that if you're feeling that pull, that discouragement, that like feeling of like, oh, I'm sinking, we're never going to do this, um, you're not alone.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so for one of the ladies last night, she's a younger member and very, very sensitive, very, very in tune with Mother Earth and really the sacredness of life and feeling very discouraged. And it was a conversation around refocusing that what we're seeing out there on the news and in the world is like a pinhead
Yeah.
of reality, the reality we choose to see, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's more people in the world that are very aware of the sacredness of the earth, that are wanting to get, plots of land and have smaller community gardens and that want to walk softly and reverently on our earth. And I said to her, if you can just shift your focus and tune into that beautiful golden web of people that are rooting
Mhm.
for peace, that are visioning in peace, that's growing.
Right? I
Mhm.
100% agree. So spirituality amplified is gaining legs and in-person space. I'm collaborating with four other women that we're creating a physical space for it. We just had some conversations around what that looks like recently, but it's been, like you said, it's like there's so much chaos and there's so much stuff going on in the 3D, and it can catch us up so easily and it can be overwhelming. But the more we stay connected, and this is the whole vision of it, is can we find a space where we are solidified and surrounded physically and virtually, connected with people that are in the same space so that we can move forward and so we can continue the journey, because the more of us that start showing up in our light, the more light there is. And the more we can create momentum towards that idea, the more we'll shift. But the more of us that get caught up and drowning in the overwhelm of what's going on, the thing is that all of this is supposed to be happening.
Mhm,
It needs to happen in order for people to have the awakening that's happening right now. We were having this conversation last night that there's like spirituality has been around forever in some way, shape, or form. And I don't mean spirituality in the religious space, but it's like it's some sort of form of spirituality in what we kind of do here. But only until recently, like I was talking to a colleague last night where it was like she had a business that they were talking about it 20 years ago, but it was very so hush hush. We feel like it's hush now. It was so hush hush they couldn't even talk to their partner about it.
mhm.
And people did it in secret behind closed doors. And it was very much not in the space. So it's like there is a shift that's happening even in the last 10 years, five
Yeah,
years that are, like I said, since COVID has created that
right?
specific time frame, started the shift. That chaos started the shift. And if we didn't have that chaos, we would have been in the same place, stagnant in that moment that we're
Yeah,
slowly, progressively getting there. It caused the shift on purpose to
yeah.
create that uh, jolt of life needs to change. And this is why. And it caused this momentum that's currently happening.
Oh, it's so true. And even if you look at in Power versus Force, that scale of consciousness,
Mhm.
right? The scale of consciousness, like we have to kind of move through anger. Like we were in um complacency and people were
Exactly.
just complacent to everything that was going on. And then things started to get rocky and wake up and exposed, and people are angry right now. And
Yeah.
that's the big thing that a lot of people are feeling, that anger and that frustration and that like wanting to break out, revolution feeling energy, right?
Picking sides, like, yep.
Yeah. But if you look at that scale of consciousness, we're moving up. Anger is higher in consciousness than complacency.
Mhm.
It's you know, when you're in the "I don't care," it's like that's a lower frequency. So
Yeah.
so we're getting there. We're gonna get through this, and it does need to happen. I love what you said, that it needs to happen. We need to move through this, and we're here. Like, there's people that had came specifically to hold the light, to anchor it in, and you'll know if you are one of those people, but to know that you're not alone, and it really is kind of like, you know, when you gotta clean the house and it's a big dirty mess and you feel like you're the only one that's gonna clean it, and it's like, "Oh, I don't wanna do this," so you start plugging along, and then someone comes in and says, "Hey, I'll help you." It's like, "Oh, okay, thank you." And then someone else comes in and go, "Oh yeah, let's do this. Let's get it done." And it's like you feel your energy pick up and move forward. It's like, "Okay, yeah, we can do this together." That's what you need to tap into. It's like
Yeah.
you're not alone. You're not cleaning house alone.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's why, like you said, these circles are coming out and
Oh,
these things are evolving for that reason. I literally had a visualization through somebody, colleagues did a breath work that I was participating in. And it was like, no, it's creating this like, I keep saying like army of light workers, but it's literally like, the vision was we are hand in hand, like arm in arm, locked arm in arm, all the way around the freaking world, and to protect it, to create what is meant to come through, and like you said, hold the space for that to happen.
yes.
To be the
Yes.
anchors of it.
Right? I feel like I envision this beautiful golden web, and at every point where the ropes are cross is where someone is standing and
Yeah.
glowing, a glowing light. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We love that.
but I love that people are starting to gather in person. Um, you know, we have our circles online, which are fabulous because, you know, we needed to find each other.
Mhm.
But it's so, so wonderful to just gather monthly or
Mhm.
weekly in a circle, even like we do here.
Yeah.
And every circle, no matter what you're doing, if you're just sitting and gathering and talking, you're rippling out. It's working. And if
Mhm.
you're sitting and doing a ritual together, that's even stronger. And if you're sending intentions out to the world, that's even stronger. So,
Mhm.
and I love that vision. Like last night we were starting another year. We've been gathering for a year. We were starting another year and we were discussing, do we want to continue with just our circle of 8?
Mhm.
Because that's what we are, a circle of 8. And or do we want to bring more people in? And so we were,
Mhm.
and there was this compassion, this empathy of there's so many, there are others that would love this. Um and so then it was like, but maybe each of us could go out and create another circle of 8.
Mhm.
And wouldn't that be cool? Like,
Ooh, I love it. Well,
right?
it's not even, and here's the shift. It's like this is actually abundance, right? Like we're
Yeah.
talking about abundance. It's like, and when you think about how a millionaire thinks, it's like when we're taught as an employee, 1 + 1 = 2. But
Mhm.
in an abundant thought process, or like if you think about how they invest to multiply, not just add, to multiply. And that's what you were suggesting and creating, and that's what we're creating over here with the same thing with spirituality amplified. It's like, how can we multiply versus just slowly and progressively one by one? How can we amplify? How can we move that forward in a way that is um, investing into the future of what we're creating?
Right. Oh, I love it. I
Um,
love it. And that abundance, well, that's another topic
Sure.
that I had a shift in this week. Because I am, and I'm gonna get the book up so I don't butcher the name. I'm reading, and this just came up in my Countdown to Riches, right? By
Mhm.
Rhonda Byrne.
Yes.
So I just heard about the book last Sunday, and then somebody else posted in a group that they're reading it. And I'm like, oh, that's so funny. Because as I heard about it last Sunday, I downloaded the Audible
Mhm.
version. And so I've been listening to it. So it's 21 days to riches or whatever she calls it. Anyways, um, one of the days this week, I was like, what was my point?
Yeah.
One of the days this week was reminding us of all the abundance that we've had in our life.
Mhm.
And it brought into my awareness because I had a rocky childhood. Um, it brought into my awareness how much when I reflect back, there's like these gaping holes of scarcity in my
Yeah.
past.
Mhm.
And so I sat down and started to write out all of the wonderful things that I had, the supports that I had, not just money. Like, yes,
Yes.
I had clothes on my back. It might not have been the stylish clothes that other people were wearing, but
Right.
I had clothes. I remember getting new shoes and how exciting
Yep.
that was. I remember
Me
getting a
too.
new bike, right? And
Mhm.
how exciting that was.
Versus
And
a
I
hand-me-down.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had food on our table. We did get, chips and pop once in a while on a
Yep.
Saturday night. We got some chocolate cake and cookies once in a while, and
Yeah.
we had a big yard. We actually had a pool in our backyard, that my dad traded with somebody to get, and we helped set it up, and we had a neighborhood full of kids. Like, I just started going over and over and over and filling up. 'Cause it felt like energetically, if you look back, like a timeline kind of, it felt like a big pit
Mm.
and of energy, like an open
Yep.
scarcity. What would you visualize scarcity as, right? And I often see it as like a pit in the ground, like a hole in the ground, right?
Mhm.
Um, and yet now, today, I'm very aware of abundance around me. So I feel very full, very aware, very grateful for everything. But that hole in my background was sitting there, which I hadn't really paid attention to. So I'm going to encourage everyone to look at the full spectrum of their life and where is the scarcity? Like if you're
Mhm.
struggling right now and yet you go, but I see, I get it. In my head, I get it.
Mhm.
Energetically, where is the scarcity in your life? Because once we shift that and fill that up, it's like, "Oh, I'm even more abundant now and
Yeah.
can then invite more in. And that was really cool. So anyways, sorry,
No, I appreciate that because like that's one of the things I actually teach in one of my courses is around that rewriting
Mm,
the memory from the past because we have the ability to do that. The only thing that's holding us to the past is the memory. It's not physically there, so you can't it's not like you're going to physically change it, but it's not actually there. We feel like the only thing that's holding the power of our past is our memory, and we can
right.
choose to rewrite that memory at any point,
Oh, I love that.
right? And so I love what you're sharing here is like we can rewrite the memory of the scarcity. Other than holding on to the energy of the scarcity, be like, "Okay, uh, what would I love to create?" That memory can be changed. Our imagination's so freaking powerful. We have no idea. We do not utilize it enough. But if imagine going back and being like you said, rewriting and recreating and paying more attention to. And it's not like it, you're not. It's not that the abundance was not there. It's just we were seeing it from a scarcity mindset.
Yes.
Like you said, we were seeing it as like, oh, well, again, I feel the same things as like, yeah, hand me down bikes and hand me down clothes and all of this stuff. And we perceived it, or I'll speak for myself, I perceived it as we didn't have enough.
Yes.
But like you said, it's like, no, actually we had all of that. We always had food on the table. We always had a roof over our head. There could be other situations where that didn't happen. So we were abundant. The other
Mhm.
thing I wanna share too around abundance was, like, I never even thought about it last week, but I'm doing a week this week I'm hosting a 5-day challenge. Today's actually day 5. But if you're interested, you can always go through my social media and you can grab the access to it. It's free. It's a 5-day Awaken Your Abundance challenge. And
Mm,
it's literally these little tips and tools, like, this is another perfect one that you could use, the rewriting and kinda going back through and finding the abundance that was actually there that we weren't paying attention to because we weren't aligned with it at the time. But finding the abundance within what we already have. And even like you said about the I am abundance, even the idea of abundance, it's not just money, it's not just materials. It is literally, like you said, the feeling of fullness
mhm,
and happiness, joy, excitedness. Like all of these things make you feel abundant. It is,
mhm.
it's about it's not the things and the, material and the money gives you the feeling of fulfillment, but you can find that fulfillment in so many other ways, and so, if we let go of the attachment of the money and the things, and like you said, there's money all around, like, literally, this pen, it's hard to see 'cause, like, this pen costs money. My phone, how much money do we spend on our phones and our homes and all of these things? We have abundance all around us. But as soon as we purchase it, we devalue it.
Yes.
So if we could just pay attention to the fact that all of the things in our life are abundance. Like,
Yes.
how powerful is that?
Yeah. And and doing that, abundance is also support. So when
Mhm.
people feel like, well, no one ever helps me, I now have to do it all on my own. It's like, well, wait a minute, let's look back and see how supported you were,
Mhm.
right? And that when we have a childhood where we saw, so this is a really important point too, where we saw scarcity as we were growing up,
Mhm.
because we saw scarcity because those were the words around us.
Yeah.
Those were the patterns being implemented to us. So we could have very well been in the exact same upbringing, but heard words of abundance.
Mhm.
And and that would have been a total different story for us.
Yeah.
So it's, to go back then and go, okay, well, let me look at all of the ways that my parents did support me, even if I felt like they didn't. How did they support me, and how did they work so hard, and not only that, but in society. And I
Yeah.
spread that out to this. It was the 70s, for heaven's sakes. That's when the internet, or when the computers were coming online, and people were like, there was an abundance of creative ideas and flows and potential sitting there. And
Yeah.
just because I was raised in a family that didn't see that doesn't mean it wasn't there. And so also then move into the forgiveness for yourself, forgiveness for holding scarcity for so long, because we could really then beat ourselves up on that whole scenario going, well, I held on, like, I held on to it way too long. Like, why? I'm
Yeah.
just, not smart enough or not aware enough or whatever. Don't go there. Allow yourself to go, "Oh my gosh, bright light in this moment, and I forgive myself for holding it, and let's move on." It's
And holding space for your parents too, because I don't want people to think like, oh, well, it was my parents' fault because they spoke scarcity or they shared
right.
these ideas. They did the best with what they had, with what they knew at that point.
That's
And so
right.
if it's not something that you receive, this is the other thing about abundance. And again, wealthy thinkers is because I've done some study around this. It's like those that are wealthy, it automatically becomes natural. So if you look at children of people that have abundance, in money specifically, they don't even understand that there is another option. Like they automatically, even yes, we feel like, oh, they're hand me down millionaires or whatever. Like their parents are giving them the whole, what's the word? You like receive
Silver spoon.
the silver spoon, or they're just given to them and they're appointed, but they don't anticipate it feeling any different
Right.
because they've never received the idea of scarcity. And so the scarcity our parents thought, again, when you look at the generation before that, there was the war, the depression, there was all of these things that created scarcity.
Yeah.
So it's not their fault they shared scarcity with us.
Right.
So it's like,
Right.
but look at what, and I literally, when I did some like past life healing and whatever, when somebody actually, it was Pam, I did a session with Pam. So if you haven't done a session with Pam, for those that are listening, she's got a
Oh,
very powerful process, and not that none of us, we all do, but I went through this process with her, and that's where this awareness came from, is like, "Oh, I now see the generational scarcity that showed up." Was like, if I think about who my grandmother was and where she was, because my grandmother came from Scotland, she lived in a castle or lived on a castle property, but she was the gardener's daughter. So it's
oh,
like,
how cool
when you
is
think
that?
about that, like, she was next to abundance,
Yeah.
but didn't receive it because she was the gardener's daughter and they lived in a cottage on the property. So she brought that with her. And so when you think about that space, and again, during the war, like, and then there was the depression, all these things. And so when we think about that, well, of course they're gonna feel scarcity. Of
Yes.
course there's fear, there's all these things that are going on, very similar to what we're beginning to experience now.
Yes. And that okay, look again at that scale of consciousness and how as a collective humanity, how we're moving through that. The awareness wasn't there when we were
Yeah.
growing up. It wasn't there. And so you can't fault anyone for that. It's like you said, it's how they were raised, what they were dealing with. It was very much survival. And even after the survival generations of the war and the depression, it was just, you maintain this. This is what you do. You get married, you get a house, you have your car, and you go to work. And most, women were home with their
Yeah.
kids. Like that's just the way we
There
did
it
it.
was.
So
Mhm.
it wasn't, brought into their awareness that there could be more
Yeah.
for most. Some, yes. So,
Yeah. And
which
that's where we're coming to now, is like, when there is other options and people are like, and this is what's going on, bringing us back to what the start of this conversation, full circle of like,
right.
well, this is what's currently going on, is that people are waking up to that. We've been stuck in the industrial age for an awfully long time, and industrial age thinking. And this is the start of the change, is that there's other options. The status quo and the square that we all box that we all seem to think we fit into, we're all going, wait a minute. We
Yeah.
don't need to fit into a square box. What if that's different? What if we don't need a box at all? What if we're round? What if we're completely open and unlimited?
I love it. So,
It's
yes.
like you said, it's a collective consciousness that's coming in right now, and we are just awakening to it. And the chaos needs to happen, just like the war needed to happen, in order to bring in, even like when you look back at the 60s and 70s, like the peace, love, whatever came after the chaos.
Yes.
And the amount of unconditional love that kinda came through that, without the awareness of abundance and without the awareness of there is more than just the square box.
Yes.
So just imagine that happening after what we're currently going through. And with the awareness that we're currently in right now, like, do we know where we're headed here? Is anybody else paying attention? Anyway,
But that's very cool. Like, we can look at it as, you know, cycles, but each cycle is kind of moving up a little bit. And I love that. Like, we have, the music of the 60s and 70s, the art that pushed boxes open,
yep,
the different technologies that helped us evolve and move forward. We have all that to lean back on now to support us, like to go back to the Beatles and go, wow,
mhm,
yeah, love. All there is love, love, love. Right?
you're right.
We got to remember that. We got to keep moving forward in the,
Well,
you
that's what
know,
we're doing with the light. We're the Beatles in our rendition of it, right?
right? Exactly. That's what that's
Yeah.
exactly where I was headed.
Oh, sorry.
No, this is perfect. This is a grand opening of creative flow again, where
Yeah.
we are gonna grow exponentially with creativity like this next couple years. This is like that dragonfly energy. It's like expansive and open, and we are emerging into something brand new. But yeah, if you're creative in any way, this is your time. This is
Yeah.
your time. Fly.
Right. Not that we're saying this is going to be completed in a couple of years. Again, if you look back at any of those eras, it was years of transformation, but it had to fall apart first.
Yeah.
And that's where even just as we're moving through the current chaos, it's like we have to find security in the fact that it does need to fall apart first in order to
Yes.
reconstruct itself like a butterfly in a chrysalis. Like it literally needs to come to a point where it becomes like like I don't know, I can't remember specifically. Maybe I'm making this up in my head. As a butterfly goes through, it literally turns into like mush,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
to recreate itself.
It does. It's so cool. It is
Yeah.
such a miraculous, like, and I always come back to the butterfly or the dragonfly
Yeah.
because the life cycle of them is absolutely miraculous. Like, you just cannot look at that and go, "Oh, well, that's just nature." It's like, "Oh my god, does
It
anything else in
literally
nature do
reforms
that?"
itself, right?
Yeah,
Well, and
yeah,
we were talking about this actually this morning with a colleague of mine of like the snake year of last year. It's like how many things within life sheds a layer like that,
right?
like a snake. Like literally it expands and grows and releases the old version. And that's literally what we're all personally going through this last year. But then we're like, there's the butterfly, then there's like a hermit crab, then there's the lobster. Like there's all these
Yeah,
references in nature
the
of
tarantula.
yeah, like we literally shed this other version of what no longer serves us. And we move into something that is different and bigger, more expansive, or a different version, and we can, again, where we feel shaky and scared and there's fear, this is where we can rely on, okay, well, this needs to happen for something else to come through.
Yes. Yes, and this too shall pass.
Mhm.
Um, keep remembering that because when you're in that, and I know that there's a lot of people that over the holiday season, they were like, "Oh my god, everything's falling apart." And
Or
there's
physically ill.
yeah, or
Yeah.
physically ill. There was a lot of people injured, ill, like
Yeah.
so much car accidents, like, it just was there was so much. And know that your strength will come back.
Mhm.
It will come back. It's not like this forever. It's a transition, and stay in the full awareness that you are evolving. Surround yourself with the people that can remind you that you're evolving. That's it's not easy to go through this messy life, um, but it can be very beautiful too.
And you're not alone. Like you said, and again, coming back full circle to the beginning of this conversation, you are not alone. There are circles happening all around us, and it's just a matter of you choosing to tap into it and finding one that fits you. Whether it's following us in this conversation on these the Sacred Wisdom Circle calls, whether it's finding people locally, reaching out to any one of us, and we can probably either if it's not our circle, we can direct you to another one because we're all kind of interconnected and finding, like you said, that light within the area where you can then become that net that pulls together and have the support of the net versus just going through it alone and feeling scared and nervous and all the
Yes.
things.
And one of the things, there's
Mhm.
a phrase that came up this week, and I'll just read it because I just wrote it down again and it fits in perfectly here. It's the future you're living into determines who you are being now. So
Mm.
being in the energy of believing the best is yet to come, the excitement for life, the gratitude for where you are, and the excitement for what's coming, rather than in the fear and resistance of change. Because that's what, when you talk about abundance and we talk about creation energy, that's what's going to move things forward more smoothly for you is to be in that energy of like, okay, so I am becoming somebody new and it's going to bring in a whole lot of wonderful experiences for me.
And because I'm becoming that version of myself,
Yes.
you're getting a different experience. You're gonna bring new and amazing things to you in that process. Just like as we continue through this current chaos is we're gonna bring more beautiful things to us in the evolution into who we as a collective step into.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
gonna be aligned to that version, not to the current old version that doesn't feel comfortable anymore. It's
Yeah.
freaking powerful. I love
Rem
that. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome, but remembering too that you are purposefully here.
Mhm.
That
Right?
you're here for a purpose, um, and consciously came to live life right now through all of this. It was a choice, it was a gift, right?
Yeah.
And there's space for you. There are no mistakes. There's
Yeah.
space for you, and take up your space and move into your dreams, use your voice. Like, one of the things that I spoke about in my groups this past week and on my Monday morning live was dreaming again. Like, just your dreams are your beautiful, beautiful seeds planted in your heart when you were born, and you're allowed to have them, but they're not guarantees. They're they're the light pulling you in that direction to evolve and grow into that. That's your potential that you hold. You
Yeah.
absolutely can have this. The universe is saying, "Here, this is what you are have the potential to hold. Um, you just need to grow a little more and come this way."
Yeah, keep following it.
So having those dreams no longer like you're no longer looking at the outcome right now.
Mhm.
It's like it's not about the outcome, it's about the growth that you're having along the way, and so, we just talked about being free to dream, being free to be open to dream, allowing yourself that permission to dream because it's not that you have to get there. It's
No.
okay. It's okay if you don't because we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, like, to become that, and for me, I know for the last couple years, I've really been in this, like, "Oh my gosh, I'm running out of time." Right? I'm
Mm,
running out of
right?
time. I've got these big dreams and they're not here yet. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of time. How many more years can I continue to be doing this? Well, I feel like forever right now, but
Right?
yeah. But, when you look at, well, how old am I? And, do I have another 10, 20 years? Yeah. But
Yeah.
uh do I want to keep working for that long? So you just get all entangled in that. And so when we started to look at our dreams and go, okay, well, let's put them out here like this big beautiful ball of light right here, our guiding light, and
Guiding
instead of
light is
having
really
to
good. Yeah.
pack them in and hold them in because I'm afraid they won't manifest, it energetically frees you up. It
Mhm.
opens space in you to be able to say, oh, okay, well, I'll just keep following the path that way and
Yeah.
see what happens. It's all good.
I love that, and you said the golden light, and I apologize for interrupting, but it was like, "Oh,
That's
I
okay.
love that. I love that golden light because it's this is the thing, your dreams, your desires, the things that you want to bring in that feel like you're supposed to do, and even if it's not a thing, or even if it's like, I know I'm supposed to do something and I don't even know what that is yet.
Yeah.
All of those things, like you said, are very much are supposed to be what gets you there. It's not the goal that you're meant to achieve. The desire in is within you for a reason.
Yes.
It's been gifted to only you. So sometimes we feel like, oh, if I don't do it, I'm or it's going to pass me by. No, no, no. The desires you have are meant for you. The dream that you have is meant for you. And it's meant for you to grow and expand. Meant for you to reach for more, for you to become more, not meant for you to like achieve the thing. The thing has nothing to do with it. Like you said, it's asking for you to like reach for me, to grow, to expand, to become that version of you to that has the thing, but it's not the thing.
Yes.
Never the goal.
And the realization too for people is that source, creator, God, whatever you want to call, doesn't care how big your dreams are. It only cares about the growth that you're having along the way. So it's kind of frees you up. There's no judgment around how big your dream is or how small it is. It doesn't matter.
Or
You,
if you accomplish it. Yeah, like you
right?
said.
You
Yeah.
get to dream whatever you want. No judgment, right?
Mhm.
No judgment at all. It's just like, go ahead, dream. I just want to see you grow. Like, I'm going to help you grow, dream that dream because
Mhm.
source put it in there for you. Like you said, they're uniquely your desires and it's your potential to hold that.
Yeah.
It's your potential. So it's not like a carrot at the end of a stick going, well, I just want to get you to grow. It's
Mhm.
like, no, you can absolutely have this.
Yeah, accomplish it. Even
Yeah.
though it may feel like way too big and you're like, "How?" This is where we freeze, is when we're like, "How do I figure that out?" You don't need to figure that out. All you need to do is take a step towards it. Lean into it. Feel into it. Like you said, even just dream,
Yeah.
because even the dream leads you to what's next. Being in the energy and the vibration of that dream leads you to what's next and where you need to go. And you just need to be open. Like you said, the more you put it out here instead of being like, oh, I need to hold on to it, that's the attachment to it. You want to detach. You want to let it be that guiding light, gentle and easy, and just move towards it in a
Oh,
gentle and smooth, like floating way.
yes. And this is where too it absolutely releases fears within your nervous system.
Yeah.
You relax. And like you said, if you just dream, if you let it go and just let yourself sink into the luxury of dreaming, your energy field opens up and you start to receive more guidance, intuition, knowings because you're not tightening up and clinging and
Yeah.
attached to that dream. Yeah. You just kind of like, okay, let's go. Let's enjoy the journey, see where the road takes us.
Yes, exactly. And it's like we have the opportunity to choose it.
Mhm.
The only thing that's holding you back from the dream, from the goal, from whatever you accomplish, from that expansion is you. And the choice to entertain the idea or not.
Yes. And along the way, there's gonna be little bumps
Oh gosh.
and of expansion, and that's where having your circle, having a coach, having a group will help you move through that. Because as you move along and you keep expanding, there's all these other fear frequencies that show up where you're like, we can shine the light on them and go, "Oh god, that's that I know what you're feeling. I can help
Hmm.
you."
Yeah.
And then you can keep moving forward, like fear of judgment and fear of criticism and fear of expansion. Like the whole idea is to keep coming back to feeling safe
Hmm.
in your growth, in your dreams. Ah, Alana, I love this.
This, this was such a good conversation.
You just lit me up.
I love it. Yay.
Yes, totally. Oh my
This
gosh.
was such a fun conversation and the evolution of it was perfect. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Anything else hang in there for you? I was like, oh,
No, I think this was so good. I know today was a little shorter and there was just two of us, but I think it was perfect and
oh,
exactly as it needed to be.
it was powerful.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. You guys
well,
don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss these.
subscribe and share. And if you know of anybody that's in the fear, in the vibration of scarcity, in the like, this would help so many people just to have this idea of being open to receive this idea. It doesn't even need to be like, you need to take any of these beliefs that we've shared and be like, lock them in and be like, oh, this is my belief. Just be open to receive. And if you know somebody that's struggling, feeling fear, feeling uncertain, feeling shaky, share this with them and maybe it'll help relieve some of the pressure and some of the fear and even allow them to be a little open to what is possible for them too.
Absolutely. And follow us, follow each of us because fill your social media up with
Mhm.
positive, forward moving energy that, not, you don't have to come and join any programs if it doesn't resonate with you. It's about filling up what you see with the positive energy.
100%. We're talking about the circles and the connections and the alignment. You don't even need to be in a circle. You can just follow along. You can, like you said, the algorithm's really cool. And the fact that if you follow and subscribe and do all the fun things, then more will show up for you in this energy. So
Yes.
continue the journey. And then instead of it being full of your algorithm and timelines and everything else full of stuff that you don't want, find more people where you find the light and what feels good for you and follow them too, because it will just bring in more abundance for you. So, like you said, share and subscribe, follow along with each of us. We each provide different opportunities. You don't need to jump into it, but just allow yourself the experience of being supported.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for joining us here. The circle closes for now. The light remains, not just here, but as we mentioned, also within you. You are bringing that light out as well. Let these teachings echo through you like through your being like a lighthouse calls over the sea, steady, unwavering, and sovereign. Share what touched your soul. Let us know what you loved about this and this conversation. Subscribe if you feel the call. And always remember, you are the light, you are the way, and the circle will always be here when you need to return.
Yes. And we will see you next week.
Yes, yes, yes. Have a
Great.
beautiful day, everyone.
Bye bye.